There's times basting is a needed technique. First off, you do have a basting sewing technique on your sewing advisor. It's technique number 4. So it takes you to stitch number 23. Notice it's a very long stitch length, at stitch length of 6, but the biggest thing is that the tension has been reduced. Now, why would the tension need to be reduced? Let's go ahead and just stitch a line. I do like that first off it doesn't start with a locking stitch. So when I go ahead and cut this, and I need to actually pull it out. So there's how long the stitches are, but because it is the stitches are loose, it's pulled to the back side. So that means when I go to pull this thread out, it is actually very easy to remove. Just go ahead and give it a pull, and because the tensions aren't perfect, it comes right out. So you can quickly baste something together, test and see if it's the right fit for what you're working with, and then come back and sew your seam. Now there's more of a manual basting stitch in your menu 2A. Go to stitch number 42 and 43. When you pick stitch 42, the basting stitch, it actually lowers the feed dogs down. You'll hear them go down. So here's what it's going to do. When you step on the foot control, it takes 3 stitches and then the foot pops up just a little bit. So you take your fabric and slide it to the back. You're going to need to hold it back here, and you slide it as long as you want it to be. Where you want the next stitch to be, go ahead and sew. And then it takes 2 stitches and stops. So very quickly you can get a longer basting stitch throughout your project that could be a little bit more conducive to, say, a quilt. Something that you just need to hold together and then remove the stitches later. Stitch 43 is the same thing. It is called a zigzag basting stitch. So it's going to do a stitch to side, and then lift, slide forward, and then sew again, a stitch in the left, a stitch in the right, and then it waits for you to move your fabric and sew again. So here we'll just do a cut and let you see this stitch. Once again, very easy to remove. There's that little zig, and then you move down to the next part. And once again, easy to take out, and yet you can make those stitches as long as you want.